Good morning, y'all, and welcome to another fun-filled week in Florida. We've been here for a couple of weeks now, and we've spent a lot of time with family and gotten to see some really cool things, but mostly the reason we're here is I've started work on an ambulance, we'll call it. It's actually a Red Cross rescue vehicle. So it was not meant for saving lives, it was meant for preserving them. Now this thing was meant to haul a lot of weight, and they anchored it all to these aluminum walls. What I've been working on is bolting a ton of solar to the roof of it and building this giant box in the back. Now last week y'all left off with me bringing this thing to shape. Now this week, we've got to tear it all apart, paint it, make it look really awesome, and then put it all back together. We also have to go see some manatees this week. Y'all hang on. This week's gonna be fun. I promise. Well, y'all, my progress today has been more about destruction than progress. Also, Lori, the ambulance owner, showed up, so that took a lot of my time as well. I did manage to get most of the gear out of the cabinet. I've also been doing a few touch-up things, like installing a ground, and this cable will be leading to a ground bar here, as well as working on the power connectivity to the ambulance. Now, because all of this is positioned right above us, I have an opportunity to tie into the second alternator because it's fed directly from this cable here, and that's going to allow me to tie my bus bars in so that our DC to DC converters will be able to charge directly from there versus having run cabling all the way up to the front of the ambulance. I'm super pumped about it. Boy, it's a mess in there. I made it worse. Boy, howdy, the sun's a shining today, y'all. I got out here this morning and continued removing all of my components. Now you see there's a lot of black marks, and I'm using a Sharpie so that it permeates through the wood. So as I sand everything down, I know which holes are gonna remain. That way I can backfill any of the other ones so we don't have any unsightly marks on this cabinetry. I've got one more little piece to get off of here, and then get the batteries out, and we'll start treating this thing. Ooh, I can't wait to show you guys what I've been dreaming up. This is gonna be awesome. Oh, look at that sunset. I'm grateful for these big lights under this carport. I'm still plugging away. I was hoping to start hardening everything today, but necessity says that I needed to keep building. I've been working on this covering for the batteries, as well as getting these faces completely straight and sanded. We're still moving forward. I even cut into ground for the entire system so we can ground it back to the frame. Let's see if we can get a little more done before it gets too dark. Peeping over my shoulder, that's sunshine. And now it's greeted with a little bit of chilly air, if you can't tell by my attire. But I'm happy that it's not raining. It rained all day yesterday. I'm also happy to be back inside working on my little wooden box here. I'm doing my last trim of the top. We're going to be bringing it flush with the surface, and we're going to put a piece of plexiglass over the top of this when I'm done painting it. But if you guys have been watching me build things for a while, you know I generally build things a little taller than they need to be so I can make final adjustments at the end, such as cutting off this. I've already cut off too much of an overhang here, as well as I'm going to be gluing some of these panels together, and some of them will come apart because the goal is to be able to remove all the walls of this cabinet rather rapidly, so you can replace any components if you ever need to replace it. I'm not trying to build a fortress to hold all this gear in, just a fancy cover. Let's see what we can do today. One of the many tricks I've picked up over the years is really utilizing wood glue. What I'm going to be doing with it today is I'm watering it down so that I can paint it with a brush, and I'm going to be using it as a clear coat or hardener for all of the plywood that is making that cabinet. And with a couple coats of primer as well as a high enamel paint, we're going to have a nice surface here that should stand the test. Let's see what we can get done.
As for me, I am playing with rocks. This is round 1 of tumbling for some of the stuff that we found this summer in South Dakota. Hey, babe. You want to see some agates?
I do. What do we find? Ooh, a piece of candy. That was worth the trip.
I already want to go back. Not right now, though. It's very, very cold where these are from.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good here today, though. When are you getting done? Oh.
Taking stuff apart, Kelsey.
When stuff gets taken apart, it means that it's very, very close to completion.
Right.
Looking good, babe. I'm going to go get these going on another round of tumble. It takes a long time to make them pretty, but boy, is it worth it.
Now that my wood glue is dried, I went back over and I've sanded everything with a high grit sandpaper. And that's created this nice smooth surface. This particular panel is going to be hidden well inside the cabinet, so I'm testing out dry times on the primer that I'm going to be using. This stuff sticks to everything. Well, the primer is still drying on one side. It does dry in just a few minutes, though. The sun has went down, and I've run out of sandpaper. I have some more on the way tomorrow, and that's perfect timing. We're gonna go on an adventure tomorrow. It's time to just get all of these panels away from any moisture.
Guys, we will get back to that ambulance tomorrow, but for today, we have left it and the Love Hut behind to come down to Silver Springs State Park with Aunt Lucy and Christy. This is gonna be a good time, y'all. Hey, Shane, you excited to see some manatees?
I hope they're here. They better be.
If not, we're gonna go find them.
You can see all the fish. There's fish in the grass there.
Lots of fishies, no manatee yet, though. I bet we'll find one on that little boat.
You were pretty high that time.
Me right now. See that big rock down there? Yeah. That's 27 feet deep. And that thing is putting out 500,000 gallons a day. The water's coming out towards me here. You can almost see where it made a little trough in the ground there. This rock ledge that I'm going to go over top of here is 130 feet long. 400 million gallons a day are coming out of here. 60 feet deep right here. Well, guess what? That's what the city of Tampa uses every day, 400 million. Now, if you were trying to fill up an Olympic-sized swimming pool, you could fill it up in 45 seconds with the water coming out of the spring.
One state park in a day just wasn't enough for us. So we have made our way to Disassembly Springs State Park, famous for Shane. Tell us about Sunshine Sally.
I used to strap this poor elephant to a float and drag it around. Apparently it was quite the attraction, Kelsey.
Wild. A water skiing elephant, y'all.
Look at that tree. Wow.
The marvelous manatees. Oh my, where are we now?
We're at another spring. I don't know what this one's called. Silver? No, we've been. This is Blue Spring.
This is Blue Spring, our third state park for the day.
Supposedly, you can just see the manatees from this one.
My eyes are still up in the sky for the monkeys, y'all. Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Well, that was easy.
That was worth riding in the car all day for.
Oh, then you gotta walk that way.
Yeah?
They're starting to stack up like logs.
Oh,
They're all coming
thank
in.
you.
Bear's got to pee.
Look at them everywhere. Look. Not at me. They've seen my face before, Kelsey. Those are fish. But on the other side, there's hundreds of them.
Yeah, they're pretty. They seem
Big fish, big black fish, guys.
Whoa.
Do something, big black fish. Ooh, Mama.
Y'all look how excited he is. I think he's more entertaining to film than the manatees are.
You see the little baby though.
I'm just speechless.
I saw.
Good morning, y'all. What a heck of a day yesterday. With all the excitement, I don't think we fully made everyone understand what exactly was going on. We went to 3 different state parks yesterday. The first one was Silver Springs State Park, and that was a really cool one because we got to ride the glass bottom boat, and we actually got to see manatee up underneath us, which was a huge bucket list thing for me. You could rent canoes, but it was quite cold outside, and we didn't really want to get out on the water, so we decided to drive further, and we went to Ponce de Leon Spring, and no wildlife was seen there, but we did learn that at one point in time, they had an elephant that was an attraction, and they would strap this poor elephant to a ski and drag it around behind a boat. We left there, and then we went on to what I would call one of the most memorable experiences in my life, and that is going to Blue Spring. They have a run there, and it comes off of the St. Johns River, and in the evening, all those manatee and all those fish come up in that run, and there was hundreds of them. They said there was almost 600 manatee in there today, or yesterday. What an experience. But we are back to building a bus, or at least painting some boards. Let's see if we can turn all of this into something pretty today. The sun is out. So while I'm waiting on more spray paint to be delivered, I am working on putting the solar panels on the roof. Now I'm going to be utilizing Unistrut to hold these panels up. I like this way of installing out of multiple different ways. The main reason is once these are installed, they're permanent, but the hardware that you attach your solar panels is not. So you can easily get these panels off if, you know, hail damage happens or whatever, versus a lot of people just go ahead and attach them directly to their roof, and that creates a bunch of holes all over your roof, which, you know, the odds of a leak really exponentially increase the more holes you put in the roof. Let's see if we can get some more holes in this roof. Well, that sun is going down behind me, and the temperature's dropping, which means this paint is not setting whatsoever. So today I got the first coat of black on these components. There's several layers of primed components here. Some of them will have a black surface of it. Some of them will stay primer until we decide what the exterior of the cabinet's gonna be. I even have pieces laying over here. In my spare time today, I was also able to start test fitting the rails. So I've got all the studs in place and I'm testing the links. We're gonna have to do smaller portions down here to extend the full length of the rig. We're moving right along, y'all. Sun's out to play today, so I'm running my paint shop as fast as I can. Let's see if we can get all this painted before the sun goes away. We got a lot of rain headed our way. Ugh. Enjoy it while I can. Ain't it pretty? My patience has paid off. Things are drying. I'm starting to get it all put back in that corner. Ooh, I still got some daylight left too. Well, you know what time it is, y'all. It's time for me to start breaking your hearts. I'm just not done. Nowhere near it, in fact. But we are further than we were this morning. I went ahead and started reattaching hardware. I have a lot left to do. Make sure you come back next week and see what all that ends up looking like. I can promise it's going to be awesome. I'll see y'all then. Thanks for hanging out this week, though. I appreciate each and every one of you.